Hi, this is Jacqueline here with the GROW program. Thank you for tuning in. I want to talk to you this morning, people. We got to get our hearts right. We got to get our mind right. We got to start thinking right. I'm going to tell you something somebody said to me, and it just rung true. Out with the old, in with the new. See, we got to be transformed by renewing of our mind. We got to think better. When this was said to me, out with the old, in with the new, it was in reference to something else. But I'm telling you, it actually is really true, because you got to throw away the old you. You got to do away with that. You got to come out of that. See, because the old you is under oppression. And so when you come out with the new, you ain't under oppression. You ain't under nothing. There's nothing in control of you, and no one is in control of you. So yes, out with the old, in with the new. So when somebody say something crazy, you going to think out with the old, in with the new. And you can put them in their place in a nice way. It's a decent way to do everything, people. It's a nice way to do everything. You can tell somebody something in a nice way that'll make them feel this tall. And you know what I'm doing. Okay, out with the old, in with the new. Somebody act a fool with you, you don't go there with them. That's the old you. We are transformed by a renewing of our mind. We are in this world, but we are not of this world. We are legends. We are here and we have a purpose. It's a reason we here, and I'm going to tell you something. What I do, I meditate on the positive. See, I don't allow nobody to bring no chaos to me, and I got people that say, well, Jackie, such happen. Well, I know that's going to happen because I already told you what to do about that situation, but you want to keep on with the chaos. So what you think going to happen? Chaos going to keep on happening. It's like a ripple effect. When you drop a pebble in the water, you see the ripple effect. Action, reaction. For every action, there's a reaction. But, when we do the reaction, we don't want to act like we used to act. We want to throw that old you away. We want to be renewed, people. We want to start thinking different. We want to meditate on the positive. I be talking so fast, the spirits be giving me so much, and it be coming out. That's why I get all excited and my voice get loud, but I have to bring it back down. I have to bring it back down. So sometimes you'll notice I'll bring it back down in a minute. But I can go there again, okay? Because I get riled up. I got a message to get out. I got something to tell you that's going to help you. And you ain't got to pay me to hear the good news. Ain't that something? You can come hear me speak, and you ain't got to shell out your pocket. You ain't got to pay no tithes and offerings. You ain't got to send me a dime. I don't need your money. I want your ears. I want your mind. I want your heart. I want you to turn to God. I want you to hand it over to God. He said, cast your burdens unto me. So let's do that. And let's stop our stinking thinking. Let's change our ways. No matter what somebody say to you, no matter what somebody done to you, no matter how somebody act towards you, you gonna be different. You gonna be transformed. You gonna look at them and give them a smile. Remember the song that Keith Wonderland sung, Be Right? Just think about that. Meditate on that. Because sometimes I have to go back and play that. That song is old. But I'm going to tell you something. That song, it means a lot to me. It really does. Because sometimes I have to go and listen to that song just so I can stay right. I have to hear it. And then sometimes I have to go back and play it again. Just make sure that I be right. And there's another one that I like. Encourage yourself. Speak over yourself. Speak good things in your life. Because like I told you before, when you manifest and you laugh about chaos and talk about chaos and laugh about that stuff and spread those lies and rumors and gossip and things, that becomes your life. So at some point you got to start changing things. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing, expecting different results. So we got to, at some point, people, we got to say, hey, wait a minute. I'm through with this. No, I'm done. I'm let me off this merry-go-round, because I already know where this headed. We done been down this road again, and here we go again. And I'm done. I'm dizzy. I'm done. You can stick a fork in me. Let me off. So that's how you got to be, people. You got to realize you got to do better. It's time to come out. It's time to start thinking different. Now, we got some stuff going on. We got the coronavirus. And I just want to speak on that real quick. I just want to talk about the coronavirus. Oh, it's really bad. It's really, really bad. It is. What we got to do, people, we got to stay safe. We got to wash our hands and keep distance, and it's going to be hard this holiday. It really is. But what we got to do, Lord, and this one is tough for me, because see, the coronavirus, it touched my life too, and it touched my life, but I just have to cast my cares on the Lord. That's what I do, and I pray for those. I'm sorry for those who lost their loved ones, and those empty tables gonna be at the church this Thanksgiving, and we going on into a new year, and I'm very sorry for what happened. My deepest sympathies to the people who've been lost to, over this year behind the coronavirus. It's just tragic. But I'm going to tell you something. That's why we got to always heed warnings. When somebody tell you, I'm going to do something, I'm going to unleash something on you, you got to heed those kind of warnings. You can't just let stuff like that go. You can't think that's a joke. If somebody say I'm going to do something, you better believe they going to do it. If somebody say China to Donald Trump, I'm going to unleash a virus on you that's finna kill some of your people. And Donald Trump laugh and walk away. No, that's not what a leader does. A leader takes a threat serious. Any kind of threat against this country should be taken serious. Against the citizens of this United States. It's serious because, see, we look to our leaders for help. We look to our leaders for guidance. We look to our leaders to be leaders. And they're not being leaders right now. Nancy Pelosi and the Republicans, they're not being leaders. There's no reason why they can't sit down and discuss around the table and get this thing solved so we can get some money to these people. We got people out here suffering, people going through, like I talked before, I got 2 sons who are Trump supporters, and one of them hadn't had no job since March. So, this thing is serious. Donald Trump, he really needs to be a leader and try to start leading these last 2 months that he got in the office, but it's some things going on, people. It's some things happening. So what we got to do is just manifest on the Lord, manifest on positive, think on positive, pray to the ancestors who go to God on your behalf. Try to do right, get your mind right, get your heart right. See, if Donald Trump get his heart right, he could do some different things. Some beautiful things will start manifesting for him, but his heart ain't right. He didn't even go into office with his heart right. So people, I'm telling you, that's why it's so much chaos right now. That's why in your life, look in your life. What kind of chaos you got going on? How can you eliminate and remove this chaos so that you can get your mind right and get your heart right and get on to some beautiful things in the glory where God said my people are going to come out with substance. He talking about you. He ain't just talking about them that know something. He talking about you because you know something. It's a purpose that you hear. It's a reason. And you need to get up off of it and get up off your oppression. Get up off your pity party and come on and let's grow. Greatness reached over oppression through wisdom. God bless you.